Alright, welcome. Today, we're jumping into a super interesting digital detective story. It's a mystery that doesn't start with a footprint or a clue left at a crime scene. No, this one starts with a single strange line of code. We're about to find out what happens when the information we feed our technology is missing a massive part of the story. So this is the big question, right? This is what kicks off our whole investigation. If an AI is supposed to be super smart, what happens when its brain is missing huge chunks of the puzzle? What does it actually see? And maybe more importantly, what does it not see at all? And boom, this is our first clue. A really powerful AI system was asked a simple question, and its answer was, well, weird. Limited entries found for Africa. Now that one sentence set off all the alarm bells because we all know Africa is anything but limited. So yeah, something was definitely wrong here. Okay, so our story begins in a place called the Digital Archaeology Lab. And that's where we meet our lead detective, the brilliant professor, Data. He studies old information and he has one central rule. And this rule is the key to solving this whole case. Never assume a dataset tells the whole story. So what's a dataset? Well, think of it like brain food. For an AI, it's all the info, the text, the pictures, the facts that an AI learns from. And Professor Data knows that if that brain food is bad, or if big pieces of it are just gone, the AI is not going to learn the right way. And this brings us to our first major breakthrough. See, an AI doesn't just wake up and learn things on its own. It learns from what we humans feed it. It's people who decide which books to scan, which websites to use, which histories matter. So behind every single data set, there's always a human choice. Professor Data realized this problem was way bigger than just a simple glitch in the system. So he put together his best team, the data detectives. First, you've got the professor himself. He's the wise mentor of the group, and he knows that every little piece of data has a history and reflects a choice someone made. Next up is Future Silas, a super sharp analyst who gets right to the point. If something is missing from the data, then for the AI, it's like it never even existed. Gone. And rounding out the team is Chinasa the Compass. She's their ethical navigator. She's always focused on people, asking one simple but incredibly powerful question. Is this thing fair for everyone? So the team gets to work. And their first big discovery was, well, it was pretty startling. They pulled up this holographic globe showing where all the AI's data came from. And while North America and Europe were glowing super brightly, the entire continent of Africa was just dim. It was flickering, and it was full of these massive blank spots. Chinasa saw this, and she got it immediately. This wasn't just about missing computer files. It was about missing people. When a data set just forgets whole communities, the AI that's built on that data will forget them too. It basically makes them invisible in our digital world. Think about it like this. Imagine trying to use a map of Nigeria, but it was missing Lagos and Abuja and Kano. You'd get a totally wrong picture of the country, wouldn't you? Well, that's exactly what was happening to this AI, but on a global scale. Its map of the world was broken, and right here, this is when it clicked for the team. The AI itself wasn't really broken. The problem wasn't a bug in the code. No, the problem was the human choices that were made a long time ago, before the AI was even switched on. The problem was inside the data. And this issue, it actually has a name. It's called data bias. It's what happens when the information used to train an AI is all twisted or incomplete. It doesn't show the real world, so the AI learns this distorted version of reality, which leads to results that are unfair or inaccurate or just wrong. Okay, so the detectives put all their clues on the board. Let's recap. First, humans choose the data. Second, when that data is missing, it creates these huge blind spots. Third, This imbalance creates bias. And finally, they found that some of the African data that was in there was mislabeled, just lumping different cultures together and messing up reality even more. But the data detectives don't just find problems, they solve them. They decided they couldn't just patch up the old data set. Now, they had to build a brand new one from scratch. A better, more honest brain for the AI. And so, Project Africa Data 2.0 was born. Their plan was ambitious: build a completely new data set from the ground up, one that actually represented the amazing diversity, the innovation, and the rich history of the continent. It was time to fill in that map. So, Professor Data laid out the ground rules. This new data set had to be comprehensive, it had to be accurate, and it had to be diverse. And crucially, it had to be built with consent from the local communities, and every single source had to be documented, so the whole process was completely transparent. Alright, so for comparison, they ran a test on the old broken system one last time, for our before and after shots. And yup, there it was again. That same old flawed answer. The AI, stuck with its broken data, still saw a continent with over 1 billion people as just limited. But now it was time for the big reveal. The team uploaded Africa Data 2.0, feeding the AI its new balanced and truthful brain food. They kind of held their breath and asked the exact same question. Success. The response was totally different. The AI could now give balanced examples from all over the world. Its map wasn't broken anymore. It could finally see the world as it really is. Now, this is so important because it reveals the real lesson here. The goal was never to make the AI biased in a different direction. The goal was to make it balanced. By adding complete and honest data, the AI didn't become pro-Africa, it became pro-truth. And that's what true fairness in AI is all about, reflecting reality. And just like that, the case of the broken data set was solved. But this work is never really over. And now it's your turn because you have the power to be a data detective too. So the next time you use an AI tool, whether it's for school, for fun, or to create something cool, I want you to remember this story. And I want you to ask the important questions. Ask who collected this data, and even more importantly, who might be missing from it. Because by asking these questions, you help make sure our technology serves all of us and serves us fairly.